Have you ever noticed that when you sincerely try to change your life, reality itself seems to push back? You decide to invite more abundance, and suddenly unexpected expenses appear. You long for a healthy relationship, and patterns of rejection rise again as if from nowhere. You commit to taking care of your health, and your body introduces new and puzzling challenges. This paradox is one of the most confusing aspects of human experience, the sense that as you move forward, invisible forces seem to pull you back. Yet, this resistance is not a verdict of failure. It is not divine punishment, nor evidence that you are unworthy of what you seek. Rather, the very presence of resistance is the signal that transformation has already begun. A universal law operates behind every true change, as precise as gravity, but often misunderstood. To see its beauty, we must first rediscover the true nature of reality. And as you watch here on Quantum Aligned, remember to gently support this journey by liking and subscribing. It helps us share these insights more widely. Most people live with the assumption that reality is an independent stage, filled with people and events that happen outside of us. They believe that life is a chain of reactions, where success depends solely on chance or relentless effort. But this is the first illusion that must be dissolved. Both ancient wisdom and modern quantum discoveries point to a deeper truth. External reality has no independent existence. It is not simply out there waiting. Reality is an exact reflection of what resides within. Think of reality as a mirror, an ecosystem that responds with flawless precision to the state of your consciousness. The world you see is not random. It is the manifestation of your innermost beliefs. Your consciousness is like a field of energy carrying a unique vibrational code. Every dominant thought, every recurring emotion, every subconscious conviction is like an instruction written into this code. The Creator has designed existence to respond without error to these inner commands. Reality then reorganizes itself with absolute fidelity to match what you carry within. If you carry the belief that life is harsh, life will echo that harshness back to you. This perspective changes everything because it removes the notion that we are helpless victims of circumstances. The essence of manifestation is not about chasing after what you want, but about embodying what you already are. Attraction implies distance, a search for something outside yourself. Manifestation is the becoming, the process of aligning with the identity of the person who already lives that reality. In this way, prosperity is not attracted. You become the prosperous soul, and prosperity arises naturally around you. Consider someone who secretly believes they are unworthy of success. No matter how much they labor, strategize, or persist, life will present obstacles that mirror this hidden belief. Many may find temporary opportunities, strokes of fortune, or even bursts of success, but cannot sustain them. Why? Because the inner foundation is missing. And here reality is not cruel, but unfailingly accurate. It cannot deliver lasting abundance to one whose essence vibrates in scarcity. This truth is liberating. The external is always an effect, never the cause. This is the great reversal of conventional thinking. Life is not an external stage where we are actors. Life is the inner world projected outward, where every event and person mirrors the state of your consciousness. Transformation, then, is not about manipulating the outer circumstances, but about cleansing the inner mirror. In this mirror lies the essence of who you are, and within it dwells the most powerful creative force granted to every human being, the awareness of I am. Reality does not only reflect your consciousness, it reveals something deeper, your God-given creative essence. This I am is not mystical poetry, but the root of all manifestation. It is the center of your identity, the unchanging point from which all experience unfolds. Before you are rich or poor, healthy or ill, successful or defeated, you simply are. And this purity of being, this original awareness, is the wellspring from which your world is shaped. It is the anchor, the fixed stage upon which all other elements appear and disappear. Think of the I am as the stage itself. The sets, your finances, your health, your relationships can change dramatically. The characters, friends, colleagues, partners may enter or exit, but the stage remains constant. This stage is your eternal essence, your unshakable center. Every affirmation you make attaches attributes to this essence. When you declare, I am abundant or I am limited, you are not simply describing, you are shaping. Existence responds faithfully to these declarations, reorganizing itself accordingly. Causality, in this sense, begins entirely within. The external world reflects the commands of your essence, never the other way around. And here lies the sacred invitation. Refine your inner state, purify the identity from which you speak, and watch reality reshape itself with precision. The Creator has woven this law into the fabric of the universe, a law that favors clarity of being. Align with it, and life itself becomes a testimony to your transformed essence. Remember, this journey is about becoming, not chasing. And if you find value in these insights shared here on Quantum Aligned, take a moment to like and subscribe, helping this community grow as we all seek to align with the divine order written within creation. The essential truth here is that it matters less what you want and entirely who you are. When, in your innermost self, you embrace the state of prosperity, even if external reality shows its opposite, you activate a command of profound power. You are invoking the sacred essence of the I am, and through this alignment you call forth the manifestation of a new reality. From that instant, the unseen mechanisms of creation begin to shift, validating the identity you have assumed. This is why mere visualization without genuine inner conviction often fails. The conscious mind may attempt to script a new reality, but if the subconscious, the dwelling place of your I am, is still anchored in scarcity or unworthiness, its command will always dominate. For the deeper mind, an experience intensely imagined and felt is as real as one lived in the physical world. You are literally shaping your existence at its foundation with every I am you accept, whether consciously or unconsciously. Reality is nothing but the materialization of your essence. The challenge of transformation, then, is not to wage war against external conditions, but to accept full responsibility for your state of being. Your world is not passively waiting to be discovered. It is waiting to be commanded. And the only true command tool you possess is your central identity. Once you realize that creation itself has no choice but to reflect this command, the natural question emerges: what makes reality bend so flawlessly to your inner state? The answer is simple yet profound. Once you embody a new identity, reality has no alternative but to obey. This obedience is not random. It is the operation of a universal law, as exact and reliable as gravity. We can understand it as a principle of reflection. Creation itself mirrors your inner essence. The Creator has not designed the universe to be a judge deciding based on merit or timing, but as a responsive system that reflects with mathematical precision the signal of your being. Reality exists in perfect synchronization with consciousness, faithfully manifesting what your essence vibrates. Physics calls it the law of least action, the natural path of least resistance followed by light, electricity, even planets. In consciousness, it reveals itself as the effortless path reality takes to align with your new assumption. The moment you genuinely embody a new state, reality immediately begins its reorganization. It does not require strain, struggle, or long stretches of time. The instant your consciousness shifts, the alignment begins, setting events, people, and circumstances into motion so the outer world mirrors the inner world. This process is not symbolic but literal. Every person, object, and circumstance around you is your consciousness crystallized into form. Change your inner state, and you are directly informing the quantum field that reality must restructure. It is as if you are sending a new instruction, and creation, like an infinite server, receives it without delay, rearranging the particles of existence to match your renewed frequency. It begins deleting what no longer aligns with your identity and installing new opportunities, people, and experiences that validate the new command. But it is crucial to understand that this law is entirely neutral. The universe shows no preference. If your command is, "I am bound by scarcity," then scarcity will shape your finances. If your command is, "I am worthy of love," then love will manifest in your relationships. Creation responds without bias, reflecting flawlessly the content of your being. And this is why persistence matters. Holding a state, even when external reality has not yet confirmed it, is the only path to lasting transformation. Your world is not debating whether to obey your inner command. It already is obedience. Reality is the immediate reflection of your state. The deeper question is, what occurs when the new identity, already commanding its reality, collides with the old identity still clinging to the past? Here lies the true battle of transformation. If consciousness commands and reality obeys, why is the shift not always instant? The answer leads us into one of the most misunderstood and resisted aspects of inner growth: the complete dissolution of the old self. The new identity cannot structurally coexist with the old patterns that formed the previous reality. This is the necessary breaking apart, sometimes called the death of the ego. Your mind can be compared to a computer. The old software must be uninstalled for the new system to run without conflict. Only when the outdated identity dissolves can a new reality stand firmly. This stage often feels like resistance, chaos, or even loss, but it is, in truth, the sacred process of renewal. And as you walk this path, remember you are not alone. Here in Quantum Align, we explore these laws and share the guidance that helps align with the order built into creation. If these insights resonate with you, please like the video and subscribe the channel. To install a new and powerful program within your life, the outdated operating system must first be uninstalled. The old identity becomes paradoxically the main obstacle to your evolution. The ego is not an enemy to destroy, but a psychological construction that once served a purpose. It is the identity you built through past experiences, traumas, victories, losses, and the limits life imposed on you. This construction developed intricate defense mechanisms designed to keep you safe and preserve the familiar. But when you decide to assume a new state of being, you are not battling external enemies. You are confronting the inner structure you have built across a lifetime. And this structure feels threatened by extinction, mobilizing its defenses in full. This resistance of the old self is what many mistakenly see as failure. It manifests through the return of old fears, the rise of anxiety, and dramatic scenarios that reinforce the identity you were trying to leave behind. The person seeking freedom from scarcity may face an unexpected financial setback. The one longing for a healthy relationship may encounter toxic figures from the past or sudden conflict with a loved one. These are not random events. They are the strategies of the old identity to convince you that change is unsafe and that the comfort of the known, even if painful, is the only true security. The depth of this inner battle is directly proportional to the magnitude of your change. A small adjustment may produce subtle resistance, but a radical transformation, such as breaking free from generational poverty or healing a chronic illness, can trigger what feels like the total collapse of your known world. The chaos, drama, and apparent setbacks are the demolition protocol itself at work. They are proof that the old structure is crumbling and your new identity is penetrating deep enough to threaten its very foundations. Recognizing this is essential because it is here, in this battlefield, that most people give up. They interpret resistance as a signal to retreat. Yet the transition between inner command and outer manifestation is precisely what separates those who merely wish from those who truly become. Between the moment you assume a new identity and the moment it takes shape in physical reality, there lies an unavoidable phase of transition. This is the bridge of dissonance. It is not emptiness nor passive waiting, but an active and vibrant passage filled with events, circumstances, and challenges that seem to oppose your desire. It is the point where your new belief collides with an external reality still echoing the past. This bridge is defined by conflict, and how you walk across it determines your success. The reason it exists is simple. When your mind embraces a state that doesn't yet match physical reality, cognitive dissonance emerges. Creation itself, designed by God with perfect coherence, must resolve this conflict. But resolution does not happen by instantly shifting circumstances. First, it tests the authenticity of your assumption. If you say, "I am healthy," but deep inside cling to fears of illness, life will present symptoms to reveal whether your identity has truly shifted. Thus, the bridge becomes a calibration field where your frequency is tested under pressure. During this stage, apparent contradictions are not signs of divine punishment. They are systematic checks to ensure your transformation is not superficial, but rooted in the depths of the subconscious. The Creator has built reality to ensure your change is genuine, not just an egoic attempt to manipulate outcomes. That is why when you seek love, old wounds may resurface, or when you seek abundance, scarcity may briefly intensify. Many abandon their path here, interpreting these trials as proof that change is impossible. But when they retreat, the universe interprets this retreat as a renewed command to maintain the current reality, reinforcing the cycle of frustration. Mastery, therefore, requires understanding this bridge. Rather than fighting a reality that seems to collapse, you learn to surrender to the process, recognizing that each obstacle is a step forward. To cross successfully, you must decode the hidden meaning of these challenges and transform them into stepping stones for growth. This is where the universal mechanism of proof operates. These tests are not punishments but calibrations generated by your own consciousness. Creation is not evaluating whether you deserve what you want. It is testing whether you have truly become the person who naturally embodies what you seek. It is like being placed in a flight simulator before being entrusted with an actual aircraft. You must face turbulence to demonstrate readiness. Reality, in its divine wisdom, ensures that your manifestation will be sustainable, not destructive. The mechanism often works by confronting you with the exact opposite of your new belief. If you affirm, "I am prosperous," then a financial test may appear to reveal whether your security rests in your inner state or still depends on external numbers. If you affirm, "I am loved," then rejection or conflict may test whether your worth truly flows from within or is still dependent on outside validation. Each test is therefore not a denial, but an invitation. It is creation itself ensuring you are aligned with the divine law woven into the universe. It is not about being punished or rewarded, but about demonstrating authenticity. And when you persevere, holding fast to your inner command despite outer turbulence, reality must eventually align. Because external circumstances are never the cause, they are only the mirror. Here at Quantum Aligned, we explore these deep truths, reminding you that every challenge is a calibration guiding you toward a higher state. If these insights resonate with you, take a moment to like and subscribe. Together, we can continue walking this path of alignment, embracing the divine order at the heart of existence. Every test that arises on the path of transformation is in truth a divine opportunity to verify whether your change has reached beyond the surface of the conscious mind and taken root deep within your soul. Creation itself, by God's design, acts as an unwavering mirror, reflecting back the contradictions that still dwell inside. For a new reality to take form, those contradictions must be brought to light and dissolved. The challenges that appear during this stage are not failures, but divine instruments of purification. They are moments in which the Almighty allows old patterns and false beliefs to surface so that they may be released. A financial loss may not be a curse, but rather God's way of helping you uproot the deeply held fear of scarcity. A relational crisis may be the very chance given to you to release unhealthy attachments and learn reliance on God alone. Thus, trials are never random punishments. They are merciful calibrations, removing what no longer serves, in order to prepare space for what God intends to bestow. The great secret of this divine mechanism is that every obstacle can be turned into a stepping stone. Each storm endured without retreating to the old self is a victory of faith. Each moment in which you remain anchored in your God-given identity, despite contrary appearances, strengthens the spiritual pathways within you. You are training your heart and mind to accept the new reality as the standard decreed by God. And the weight of the trials you face is never arbitrary. By divine wisdom, it is proportional to the greatness of the transformation you seek. If your change is small, the test is gentle. But if your transformation is radical, rising from generations of limitation into divine abundance, or seeking healing from what the world calls incurable, the trial will seem just as radical. This is not cruelty. It is God preparing deeper foundations so that your new life may be sustained without collapse. Consider it this way. If you seek to improve a simple habit, you may face only minor resistance, like slight misunderstandings or small setbacks. But if you seek a new career, a new relationship, or a new path of service, the turbulence may be stronger: financial strain, rejection, or criticism. And when you aim for complete renewal, to break free from the deepest chains of the past, you may witness entire structures of your life crumble. Old ties may end, health may feel shaken, or finances may fall apart. Yet in truth, this chaos is not a sign of failure. It is the proof that God is digging the old foundation out from its depths to build a new on solid rock. For the journey of manifestation in faith is not about convincing the universe to give you something. It is about becoming the kind of person God has already ordained to receive it. Each challenge faced with patience and trust is another brick laid in the temple of your new identity. Modern science, through the discovery of neuroplasticity, confirms what divine revelation has always hinted. The human mind is constantly reshaping itself according to where attention and intention are placed. Every time you choose faith over fear, gratitude over complaint, or patience over despair, you are literally rewiring your brain. New pathways form, old patterns weaken, and step by step, your behavior, your character, and your destiny shift. This transformation rarely happens in a single instant. God, in His mercy, unfolds it through a process of small, cumulative victories. Every moment you resist an old temptation, every time you replace a negative thought with remembrance of God, you are carving new grooves in the mind and heart. And with each small act of trust, the spirit is rewarded, not only with divine nearness, but even with a physical reward. The brain releases joy chemicals that lock in the new behavior. Slowly but surely, you are becoming the new creation you were meant to be, even if only one step at a time. That is why gratitude for progress, no matter how small, is so vital. To God, every step taken sincerely counts. The mind may not distinguish between a small victory and a large one, and in the same way, heaven records both as acts of growth. Each success strengthens your new identity, making obedience, faith, and right action feel more and more natural. Even what we often call lag time between intention and full manifestation is not delay. It is design. It is the sacred space where God ensures your transformation is not shallow, but rooted deeply enough to endure. External reality is nothing more than the echo of your inner state, and as with all echoes, it takes time for the sound to return. This delay is not failure. It is the gestation period that God, in His wisdom, has built into creation. Just as a seed must take root and grow in hidden soil before bearing fruit, so too must your inner renewal take form within before it is reflected without. Many people give up here, mistaking the absence of instant results as rejection. Yet the truth is simple. God will not allow a reality to manifest in your life if you do not yet have the strength, character, and faith to sustain it. With this understanding, the journey of manifestation changes completely. You are no longer a victim of circumstances but a conscious servant of God, entrusted with the responsibility to shape your experience through faith, patience, and action. From childhood, we are often taught that events happen to us, that we are powerless. But once you grasp the divine law of inner projection, this illusion falls away. You see that tests, resistances, and frustrations are not random punishments from outside forces. They are lessons allowed by God for your protection and growth. This is not about self-blame. It is about reclaiming the power God has placed within you. The concept of victimhood dissolves, because if life is a mirror, there is nothing to accuse outside yourself. There is no such thing as bad luck in a universe governed by divine wisdom. Every challenge is a reflection of hidden fears, doubts, or limitations that must be seen in order to be transcended. And far from being cruelty, this is divine mercy, for through these trials God ensures that what you receive will not destroy you, but uplift you. Consider this. If someone rooted in a scarcity mindset suddenly received immense wealth, would it last? History shows it rarely does. Without the inner structure to manage abundance, blessings quickly slip away. This is why God allows challenges along the way. They are gifts in disguise, forcing you to confront what still clings to the old self, so that you may be prepared for greater responsibility. He will not give you a castle before you know how to build a foundation. The conflict you feel in this in-between stage, the bridge of dissonance, is nothing more than your soul wrestling with the remnants of the ego. The ego clings to the familiar, even when it is painful, while the soul longs for freedom and expansion. Each time you pass through a test with faith and remain firm in your God-given identity, you make an unshakable declaration. My foundation is in God, and my new life will stand upon this rock. For in the end, the journey of manifestation is not about acquiring possessions or chasing status. It is about becoming who God created you to be. Life ceases to feel like an enemy, and instead you begin to flow with it, knowing that even apparent setbacks are part of the divine choreography guiding you forward. The tests, then, are not evidence of God's rejection, but of His deep care. They are confirmations that your transformation is real, that your new identity is not built on empty wishes but on genuine faith. What once felt like a battle against the world is, in reality, an inner dialogue between the self that longs for growth and the self that fears it. The fear of failing the test is only the fear of letting go of the old self, the one shaped by pain, limitations, and illusions. But true freedom lies in surrendering that false identity and embracing the new creation God is calling you to embody. The true master, therefore, is not the one without trials, but the one who recognizes every trial as a divine opportunity to refine faith, expand awareness, and deepen reliance on God. The journey was never about finding yourself. It was about awakening to who you already are, a soul created in the image of the Almighty, temporarily blinded by illusions of separation and weakness. Resistance itself becomes proof that your new reality is already near, pressing to be born. And now, knowing this, you can release the need to fight life. You can walk in trust, flowing with God's wisdom, understanding that every movement, even the unexpected, is part of the plan He is unfolding for you. Thank you for walking this path of reflection and renewal with me. If this message has touched your heart, I invite you to share it so others may benefit as well. And may every step you take be guided by the light of the one who created you.